that's fine.
Good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to this live weekend Argus feed. My name is Dimo Simatos, and I'm the Lindt Master Chocolatier. Today I'm going to be making decadent chocolate cupcakes for you, and we're going to be using our Lindt Excellence range. So we'll be going through the recipe step by step and physically showing you how to put the cupcakes together. It's a great idea to do for Father's Day, so the whole family can get involved, making the cupcakes, frosting and decorating. So the recipe will be posted up on the Facebook page, so you guys are all welcome to download it and make the exact same recipe as what we're doing. So to begin, we need to identify all the ingredients for the cupcake. The nice thing about this recipe is that we're not only using cocoa powder to make the chocolate cupcake, but we're actually physically going to be putting our Lindt chocolate into the batter, which is quite unique because a lot of the chocolate products that are out there just utilize cocoa powder to flavor and color. This way we get a bit of both worlds, cocoa powder to give us intensity and aroma, and then the full flavor of the chocolate is going to come from the actual chocolate we're going to melt into the batter. So first we've got milk, we've got egg, we've got some butter. Make sure that the butter is at room temperature. And then all of the dry ingredients. So everything you see on the recipe card that is dry matter, sugar, flour, baking powder, cocoa powder, that all got to be put together, mixed up nice and evenly. And then of course the hero of our story, the recipe is our 70% cocoa from Lindt. So the Lindt Excellence flavor range is quite versatile. It's not only designed for an eating experience, but also is really great for baking chocolate desserts, ganaches for your cakes. And we have a huge selection of flavors, everything from mint, orange, chili. In this case, today for this recipe, we're going to be utilizing our 70% cocoa. So step one, you need to bring your milk to the boil. Whether you do this on a saucepan or in a microwave, the main objective is here is get it hot. You're going to pour it over your chopped up pieces of chocolate, and you're going to stir it, essentially creating a very nice thick chocolate sauce essentially. So this is what I've got pre-made, and you'll see here as you're mixing the milk and the chocolate, it's going to melt all together into the smooth, runny kind of chocolate sauce. Right? You set this aside and allow it to cool. That's quite important. Okay? At that stage, you're going to place your flour, all the dry ingredients, and your butter together in a bowl. And we're going to do a technique known as crumbing. So you're going to rub the butter and the flour. So what we do is we place everything in a bowl, and we use a whisk together with the butter, and we kind of do this kind of rubbing in motion until all the butter is dispersed evenly. Right, so essentially creating this very fine sand-like texture. So that would be your second step. So at this stage, we're taking our egg, we're combining it into that chocolate and milk emulsion. We're giving that a good stir. And as you can see, it's slightly thickening. You keep stirring until all of the egg is mixed in nice and smooth. And it's as simple as that. All the dry ingredients gets poured into, well, the chocolate mixture gets poured into the dry ingredients. So we'll have something like that, and at this stage you're bringing all of that together into a nice smooth chocolate batter. This can be used now as the base for being quite creative in recipes. You can add your chopped up nuts or other flavorants if you like. You can also add coconut, dried fruit. Essentially, as you're whisking, everything's going to come together into this chocolate batter. No need to keep on whisking over and above this because you don't achieve much. Once all ingredients are combined, you can stop. All right? So we're going to go to the next step. You're going to get all of that chocolate batter into a piping bag. it's always quite convenient and quite thrifty to place all of the batter into your piping bag and portion out, especially if you're doing more than what the recipe is calling for, which is an 8 cupcake portion. If you're doing maybe 20 or 30 or 40 cupcakes, putting it into a piping bag and portioning out is really quite efficient and quite accurate in portion control. So to do this, we're folding over about a third of the piping bag, opening up the mouth of the piping bag, placing it in the jug, and then getting all of that mixture into the piping bag. Of course, you can use a tablespoon, and just portion out with a tablespoon as such. But from this point here, you get all the mixture in. And this will make 8 gold cupcakes. So we're using a free-form cupcake holder. You can use your paper ones lined in a baking muffin tray as such, but the free-form ones are always a lot easier to use. So you place these down. We'll grab our mixture, twist, and just going to snip off the top. And then squeezing from the top, we're going to portion out into 8 gold cupcakes. So this mixture goes in evenly, and you'll notice that it only fills up the cupcake holder halfway. So you don't expect it to go right to the rim. It's really only going to go half, and then the rest of that rise will happen in the oven once we start baking. So at this stage, we're going to get these into the oven. So place it on a baking tray, something nice and level. The recipe calls for a temperature of 150 degrees for 20 minutes. That you're going to have to kind of judge for yourself. Every oven is differently kind of gauged and spec'd. So whether you have a fan, a convection, or a static, we would start off with 150 degrees for 20 minutes, but you might have to check it along the way. So this is going to take it off to get baked for us. And just like most good cookery shows, we jump ahead now and we produce the baked product. So as you'll notice now, we have the baked cupcakes. They come up right to the kind of rim of the cupcake holder, and once they totally cool down, we can start the frosting process. So my frosting the frosting recipe is on the recipe card. You'll notice that it's butter, milk, sugar, and your particular variety of the Lindt Excellence range. So we pre-made a batch, and for this recipe we're using our intense orange. But again, like I mentioned before in the past, they're quite versatile, so you can change the flavor. We're using a star nozzle, and the decoration of the cupcakes is super simple. Once your cupcakes are totally cooled, if you want to follow the exact kind of image that we've got on our recipe card, you hold the piping bag vertical, squeeze, stop squeezing, and then move it away. That'll create a very even kind of dome. You can also play around and do a double. So repeat that, hold it in place, squeeze and pull up. The nice thing about cupcakes is that you can get some sort of uniformity going. If you want to be a little bit adventurous, you can create a more spiky kind of image. And if you're a classic orientated, you can do your simple rows. To finish off, we've got our Lindt Excellence Extra Creamy, which comes in a 35 gram format as well. So that's what I'm going to be using today to do the individual garnishing. So they're really nice. You can break them up nice and evenly. and this gets placed on top. Just like that. And your cupcakes are ready to eat. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the recipe, and please remember that you can find us on the Facebook Live page to download. If you are interested in baking with chocolate and participating in any of our classes, please also visit the Lindt Chocolate Studio website, chocolatestudio.co.za. And 5 lucky participants today who have been participating with us will be chosen at random after the snip, and there's chocolate hampers in terms of prizes for you. So thank you very much. I hope everyone's enjoyed it, and see you soon.